Hey everybody, welcome back to GWN. We're going to go jump into replays right away today. I want to talk a little bit about the Raged Barbarians. Everybody thinks that this troop is massively OP. It's overpowered. And if you're on the official forums, you'll see lots and lots of discussion among the player base talking about really whether or not it's OP. Most of the people that complain that it's OP, either it's because they've rushed to the point that their bases really can't defend against it, or they don't have it and they like to have it. It's something that they see a lot in their battle logs, and I can get that. I mean, it's an understandable complaint because the Raged Barbarian, when he hits level 14, is forced to be reckoned with. I mean, in theory, you could carry as many as 100 of them into battle with 20 per camp. Although typically most people take them with bombers in one camp, so you only get 80. But it's a pretty tough attack strategy. All these replays you'll be seeing today in the next 10 or 11 minutes of this video are Raged Barbarian fails. They all came from my main game. I think there might be one from the CoC game in here, but they all happened yesterday. I was working on another attack, and I just, for whatever reason, it was Raged Barbarian day. I got hit by a bunch of Raged Barbarian attacks. And what you'll see is that most of these attacks don't even get a 2-star. There's some really high 1-stars. I think this one's an example. Got up to 90. Do you get 93 on this one? Yeah, you got a 93% 1-star. I think there's a 95%er in there as well. But the problem is, I have a little bit stronger defense on this game. And even level 14 Raged Barbarians tend to have trouble with this particular base. This base is an anti-barb base, and you can tell first and foremost because there is a ring of walls around the builder hall. It takes a while to break through those walls, and if you have higher level walls, of course, it would give you a lot more mileage. I've only got level 4 around the builder hall and level 5 for the next level of barrier. But by doing that, you need something to break through that wall. Your barbs in your battle machine are just going to walk around the outside and pick up each of those defenses in that middle ring, I guess. It's not an outer ring, it's a ring around the builder hall, but you know what I mean. So they're not going to go in and hit the builder hall until they have a path into it. And you can see that in all these attacks. Now, smart attackers with the Bombarian know that if they hold off just maybe 5 to 10 barbs at the end there, eventually the bombers will probably make it into the middle and take down a wall, and they can go ahead and bum rush the builder hall and get it out of the way. Of course, doing that, you sacrifice a few from your main attack, and you end up with something like, a 61% 2-star. Most of these attacks where people are really complaining are at builder hall 7. And I can see why people are upset at Builder Hall 6, because obviously it's really not a fair attack for Builder Hall 6. But if you're in a trophy appropriate level, which for Builder Hall 7 is typically 3,000 above, you can defend against this attack. There's the ring around the base, there's the stronger walls, the improved ground forces. Keep in mind, it's not always going to be Bombarian. It's also going to be things like BomBArch, maybe Jibok, giants, bombers, cannon carts, or a Bombarian cart, or whatever you want to call it. It might come along. It might be giants and bombers and barbarians. There's lots of different varieties here. But if you have a stronger defense, getting your roaster up to level 7, getting your multi-mortar up to level 7, getting ground targeting defenses like, for example, the Teslas up to level 7. These are going to be able to do a lot more damage along the way. And if you look at some of the high-level attacks, the above 5,000 level attacks, it's not getting quite the same amount of usage as some other attacks that are more powerful, like air, for example. I figure within the next couple of weeks, as people get their dropships maxed out, we'll start hearing about how dropships are OP and nobody can stop the dropship attack, and so on. Just like we hear about the Barbarians right now. See, Raged Barbarians are cheap. And they're the first troop you get. They're the quickest troop that you can max to level 14. Even if you went into Builder Hall 7, and let's say you hadn't yet maxed your Barbarians yet. Maybe they were level 8 or level 10. you're going to be able to get them maxed much more quickly than anything else that you've got. And because of that, a lot of players, especially lower level players, have managed to get that Barbarian upgraded. When you look at the levels on the bases, believe it or not, the builder hall level itself really isn't relevant. Okay, it's not about what builder hall level you're at so much as where your defensive capabilities are in this case. Now, offensive capabilities, we're obviously focused on the Barbarian here. But from a defensive perspective, if you have, say, a level 7 builder hall, but all of your defenses are level 1 or level 2, well, a builder hall 5 that's got mostly maxed offense is going to be able to beat you. Okay, I've done it many a time. I've taken down very low-level Builder Hall 7s with my Builder Hall 5 max troops. Same goes for Builder Hall 6. You know, if it's too low, a Builder Hall 5 will easily take it down. The more you increase your defensive levels, the higher you're going to go in the trophy rankings. But of course, the tougher the competition is going to become. So when you get up around 3,000 trophies, if you've got, we'll call it a level 4 Builder Hall 7, this attack is going to hurt you. It's not hard to run, it's very effective, and it will definitely take down those level 4 defenses very quickly. Even if you've got a roaster that's level 4, it's going to hit you. Now, a lot of these players that have moved ahead very quickly in their Builder Hall levels are experiencing this, and that's kind of the imbalance that's natural whenever you have the two different the offensive and defensive capabilities running at such a different pace between the two. I mean, it's great to get ahead on your Builder Hall levels. Don't get me wrong. I encourage everybody to do it. That's how the game is played. But at the same time, you got to have a good solid path to upgrade your defenses, because there will be an attack like this one that comes along that puts you at a disadvantage compared to the competition. Now, the Raged Barbarian is not the only troop that's really strong at Builder Hall 7. The Archer, Sneaky Archer, gets pretty strong here, and she gets an increase in the numbers of her camp as well. The Night Witch, especially when you get a level 14 and that bat spawn drops 1 whole second, that's a lot. You'll see that in a video I got coming up on level 14 Mitch attacks. The dropship, which I've talked about, takes a month of Tuesdays to get him upgraded. I mean, it's like, what, 25.5 million elixir or something like that? Not to mention, the time it takes for each one of those levels. And there's 14 levels, which is a lot. But the dropship is a great troop. I use it all the time as part of minion drops. And of course, that leaves the beta minion. He gets that 5th long shot at level 14. And a little bit more oomph he gets at level 13. But he's great even by himself in mass beta minion. I use him, oh wow, all the way through the 3000s. Even into the 4000s I use just mass beta minion on some of my games. So I mean, all these troops are going to present an issue for you if your defense is too weak. And the reason for that is because Builder Hall 7 is an offensive level. Now think for a second about that. Let that sink in. What does it mean to be an offensive level? That means that offense reigns. Okay? The max level offense on a Builder Hall 7 will beat a max level defense on Builder Hall 7. It's stronger. Now, your base design is going to make a difference. The individual attacking skills of the player is going to make a difference. Those are the things that are particularly influential in the outcome in how these attacks are going to run. But it is definitely an offense-heavy level. And when you think about that, and you think about the way people are developing their bases, and we can call it rushing. I mean, there really is no such thing as rushing and maxing per se in the builder base game, because it's not the main game. It's very different. This is just the way it's played. But when you think about that, you can see very quickly how this is going to be an issue for players. At Builder Hall 7, if you don't get at least a 65% 2-star result out of your attack, you're probably going to lose the match. I mean, that's just the way it is. Even if you do get as much as, say, 72, 74, 77%, you will often still lose the match to a player who manages to get somewhere closer to an 80 to 85%, or, of course, the 3-star. I'd say probably maybe 60% of my attacks are 3-star wins, give or take. And occasionally there's a 3-star draw in there. And that's just based on what's in my battle log at any given time when, I'm not testing an attack or otherwise experimenting on something. I don't really count those stats because, it's an experiment. I expect to lose. But when I'm running my minion drops, if I don't get at least an 85%, I'm disappointed in the attack. And a little surprised, to be quite frank. I usually go back on those bases and give them a quick review to figure out, okay, what exactly is it that I did wrong? And even then, with, getting those high percentage destructions, I still have problems sometimes. Sometimes I still end up losing. If you're getting 1-star results, forget about it. You'll get some wins down in the 2000s, maybe even a few in the 3000s, but you ain't going very far in Builder Hall 7 with 1-star results. Now, this is an example of where defensive and offensive capabilities meet. I've got a level 7 multi-mortar there, and he's got level 12 sneaky archers. All he's got to do is take down that Builder Hall, and watch what happens. Sneaky archers uncloak. Almost down, 1 volley from the multi-mortar, and boom. Look at that. All he needed was maybe a second more, but the multi-mortar took him out. Defensive capabilities. Okay, it works against these attacks. You'll see that time and time again. Once you get your multi-mortar to level 7, once you get your roaster to level 7, once your firecrackers are level 7 going against air beta minions, you'll see how these defensive and offensive capabilities just kind of play off of each other. If you can hold them back to 1 star, then you're going to win. If you can keep them to a very low 2-star, under 65%, and you're a decent attacker, you're going to win. That's what this base does. That's what I've been doing for weeks against this, the last 2 weeks against this attack. That's what I do in all my other games against this attack. People don't know it, but this particular base can be taken fairly easily with Mitch. Sometimes if, you've got the right angles and that, you can do it with even a Mass Night Witch, apparently. Still got to figure out how I'm going to work against that one. But nonetheless, I just wanted to talk for a few minutes, like I said today, about that, and specifically how this is not truly an OP attack, even though a lot of people think so. It's more your attacking skills, your defensive capabilities, your offensive capabilities, where you are in the maturity of your Builder Hall 7 game, and how you're coming along as a player within the overall framework of the game. So I hope that this video has kind of helped explain some of what's going on with that. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. If you like the video, please hit the like button. Comments, questions, and so forth, feel free to drop them down below in the comment section. And on that note, I'm out of here. Thanks a lot for sticking around to the end, and I will catch you later.